back to the stadium, Badminton, Kuala Lumpur, Cheras, Malaysia, for the third and final match of this tie between Indonesia and Thailand. Excuse me, Indonesia and Malaysia.
Indonesia Rajawali, men's singles. For Indonesia Rajawali,
you see the crowd here inside
Rhustavito.
The stadium, shell-shocked. They expected to win at least that men's double. They thought it might, at worst, come down to this final match. And this is a match that they felt they would have definitely had the advantage.
His opponent from Malaysia,
things didn't look good for Indonesia coming into this tie. Why? Because Tommy Sugiarto, their #1 player, down with a fever. So Hayom Rambaka was forced to be pushed to #1. And out of the blue, Hiren Rhustavito is here to play the second singles. So regardless of if they lost that very first singles, which still they expected to win because of Hafiz Hashim, they definitely thought that their doubles pair of Ku and Tan, former world #1s, would have gotten the job done. Which brought up their #2 singles player actually right now, which is Daren Liew. And he should have been giving Malaysia and the hometown fans the coup de grace, the win here to get top seed. But as it stands, this is a virtual exhibition game between Daren Liew and Hiren Rhustavito. There's Daren Liew, ranked 37 in the world right now, plays right-handed, 25 years of age. Currently the #2 singles player of Malaysia. In fact, already looking towards the Thomas Cup. As we take a look first at Hiren Rhustavito, ranked 134, only 18 years of age. This is definitely a match that should go the way of Malaysia. The point I was about to make is looking forward to the Thomas Cup. The coaches of Malaysia already saying they've got a much stronger squad because they're going to put Daren Liew in the second single spot and Hafiz Hashim in the third. So that has been their order of ranking. But it has not turned out the way they wanted it to. As the players warm up, there's a silence here inside the Badminton Stadium, and why not? Malaysia, very surprised they lost. He's calling home saying, we've got the #1 seed. If you have not been watching television, Indonesia is #1, not just in Kuala Lumpur, but also in Jakarta. Right now, just no pressure on the shoulders of that gentleman. Rhustavito, when everything should have been weighing heavily on his shoulders just to take the win. Let's take a look at Su Poi Sum from Malaysia, our match umpire. And helping him out is Cholid Magad from Indonesia, our service judge. And looking at the faces of all the fans here rooting for Malaysia, they are stunned. At the very least, they thought it should have gone down to this match of Daren Liew, and they would have liked their chances. Who would have thought Ku and Tan would have gone down in 3? But they did. Tremendous effort shown by the doubles pair of Pratama and Saputro. Now let's meet the players.
Malaysian Tigers, represented by Daren, Liew. And on my left, Indonesia, Rajawali, represented by Shesar, Hiren, Rhustavito. Malaysian Tigers to start. Liew, play. 1-3.
Welcome back to the action here in the Axiata Cup, the richest team event of the sport of badminton. Total prize money is $1 million, and we had 6 countries participating here in the inaugural event. Indonesia fielding 2 teams, Malaysia fielding 2, Thailand, Singapore, the Philippines, and Vietnam 1 apiece. Liew, as expected, dominating early. And the seedings alone. Ranked in the 30s is Liew. 100 spots down is Rhustavito. Sends that wide.
5 love.
And it's 5 love. Unforced error that time by Liew.
1-5.
Could we see the same script being written all over here once again? A dominating performance by Malaysia in the very first game, only to fall in 2 right after.
2-6.
Now 3-6. Nice kill.
7-4. 7-3.
That's going to go wide.
34.
Not the best of forms here by both these gentlemen. At first, it looked like Daren was all over his Indonesian counterpart, Rhustavito. But he slowed down. Poor lift.
9-4. Service 4. 5-9.
Some fight here from Rhustavito. Excellent play that time. Brings it to within 2.
9.
That's wide from Liew.
8, 9.
Now suddenly his game has dropped a few notches. Just a matter of minutes. Best rally of the match so far.
10, 9.
Nice play there by Rhustavito.
10, all.
And he's not giving up the ghost. Tie things up at 10. Will this be the day of the comebacks? Will this be the day of the underdog? That brings us to the interval. So right now the scenario that will be playing out. The Tigers do come in second here in Group K in Kuala Lumpur for the Axiata Cup. So on Friday, the Tigers play away in Jakarta versus Garuda, and the Leopards play at home versus Rajawali. On Sunday, they switch. The Tigers will now play home in KL versus Garuda, and the Leopards visit Rajawali.
20 seconds.
What a dramatic turn of events in the very first two matches that we saw. It looked like runaway victories by Malaysia to top the group, and then suddenly dramatic comebacks by Indonesia
11, 10, play.
has given them the first two matches.
12, 10. Service over.
Nice point there by Liew.
11, 12.
That's wide.
Service over. 13, 11.
Just going wide that time.
Service over.
It's Rhustavito.
12-14.
And Shesar, Hiren, Rhustavito. Really staying in step here. And doing even one better. As he leads 14-12. This must be a major letdown here for Malaysia and the rest of their team.
13-14.
And maybe even that frustration starting to set in the game of Liew. That's wide. Well, Rhustavito has been thrust into the spotlight here. Even though, of course, people may say that nothing too much to play for, but still, as far as Hiren is concerned, he'd like to be able to show Daren Liew who's boss. There is Rashid Sidek on the left. I'm sure even he's a bit surprised about what has happened here.
Service over. 15.
Boy, what a difference a few minutes can make. Just about 15 minutes ago, this badminton stadium was rocking. The Malaysian fans going crazy with every single point won by their team. But after coming up short in the first two matches, they have relegated the Tigers to second spot. A lot of people have left, and the Malaysians that have stayed behind are still just stunned in their seats. And to add to their woes, Malaysia number 2, Daren Liew, down by a point here against Rhustavito, who is 100 ranking points behind him in the standings.
Service over.
We're tied at 16.
16 all.
Well played.
17-16.
Now Daren Liew is trying to show Rhustavito who's boss. And now he moves forward, 2 points away from the first game. But Rhustavito has made this a tough match.
Service over. 17-16. 19.
There you can see him, he gets up. And they've got to wipe that slick portion. There you see Ku on your screens. Very, very disappointed with his performance. They thought they got that one in the bag, and they felt that Liew would be playing for all the marbles. But with that loss they had in the doubles, that has just slammed the book on their charge here in the group stage. Hafiz Hashim started things off on a bright note, winning the first game and then losing the next two. Singles match quickly goes Indonesia's way.
18-19.
Rhustavito is not going away. Boy, Rhustavito tying things up here. Could we see a clean sweep from Indonesia? Well played. It's now game point for Malaysia.
Game point 19.
But it looks like Daren is hurt. Could he have pulled a hamstring? Well, he's shaking that right leg of his. It looks like he pulled something. That is something that obviously Malaysia can ill afford, not with Lee Chong Wei already out of commission, their number 2 singles player. Looks like he might have pulled a muscle, not necessarily a hamstring. It looks like he's holding on to that groin area. And let's closely watch how he moves. He looks okay though. That goes long, and the Tigers win the first game here. But remember, that's why there's guarded optimism here inside the Badminton Stadium. A while ago, in the first men's singles, Hafiz Hashim won the first game, lost the next two, and their top doubles pair won the first game, but also lost the next two. Let's see how the script here in the third match pans out right after this. back to the Axiata Cup here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This is the final match of our group stage. This, of course, the richest team event in the sport of badminton, with a total prize money of $1 million. And just when it looked like it might be smooth sailing here for Daren Liew, looks like Rhustavito wants to still win his match. Looking for a clean sweep here for Indonesia. They've won this tie, but I think Indonesia just wants to stamp their class over their arch rivals here in Southeast Asia. That stays in.
3-love.
Looking so likely this is going to go to a third game once again. And that has been the script that we have actually been reading in the first two matches here tonight. It's now 4-love.
4-love. Service over. 1-5. Service over.
Boy, that net has really helped out
6.
Indonesia here today, not just in this match, but especially in that doubles encounter. That's wide. Liew still moving a little bit
6.
gingerly on that leg of his, but much better though than he did in the last few points of the very first game. Here comes the charge of Daren Liew. Obviously, Liew and the rest of Malaysia wants to save some face here. They need to get at least one match. They don't want a shutout. Oh, now Liew means business.
7.
And he is moving a little bit better now on that leg. These two players have yet to face each other. So this, their first encounter, very important for their head-to-head matchup. Still looking around at the faces here of the Malaysians that have made the decision to stay here and support Daren Liew. They're still shaking their heads in dismay. They still can't believe they've lost this tie. Well, quite surprisingly, our chair umpire, Supoy Sum, allowing them to take a breather. Just 2 points away, actually,
9-6
from the interval. And there are the heroes for Indonesia. Sugiarto, though, not able to play here today because of a high fever. But his teammates have picked him up and have carried this Rajawali team to the top seed here in Kuala Lumpur. Just out of the reach.
11-6 each number.
And Rhustavito staring now at a 5-point deficit as we get to the interval. Watch this great drop shot. Nothing Rhustavito could do. Try to stretch. Now Rashid Sidek quickly talking there to his ward, giving him some last-minute instructions. It's now 7-11. Still some fight here from Rhustavito. Now trying to make a mini rally is Rhustavito. Can he? Will he be successful? That's wide. 3 points put together now.
11. Service over. 12-9.
Well played.
13-9.
It's 14-9. Looking like Daren Liew has settled down here. It goes long.
15-9.
That should have been a 1 point, but it goes to Daren Liew, and he's now up by 6. Oh, Daren Liew losing his racket.
10-15.
You hardly see that happen. Let's see if he tries to bring out the powder. Well, he takes this opportunity to take a drink. Well played.
16-10.
Re-establishing another 6-point edge here. Daren Liew wants to get this point, wants to get this match. Just to help Malaysia save some face here. Quite a number of fans have stayed to watch this match here in the Stadium Badminton Kuala Lumpur. And he wants to give them something to cheer about. That's nice. That's the proper way to construct the points. Take control early. Dictate the tempo. Never let up. And wait for the opening before you come up with a kill. Just hitting the tape there. Keeping alive the slim chances here of Rhustavito. Well played.
12-17.
And Rhustavito with still some fight in him wants to force a deciding third game. Daren Liew up by 5, 4 points away from winning this match. It stays in.
Service over.
Excellent point that time for Liew. And Liew is sweating profusely here. Needs another break. Liew 6 points clear of Rhustavito and 3 points away from his goal of getting at least one match here for his squad.
18-12.
Now just 2 points away is Daren Liew.
Service over.
Hey, Rhustavito.
13.
With still some fight in him. As he probably is thinking, a loss is still a loss, especially in the head-to-head matchups. He wants to contribute,
Service over.
but that one goes wide.
20.
And it's now game point, match point for Daren Liew and Malaysia. And there you have it, the victory for Malaysia. Albeit a hollow one, but nonetheless, the fans here inside the Badminton Stadium will seek solace in the fact that at least they got one match
Malaysia
to end the day.
21-19. 21.
Final score of this one,
Thank you.
21-19, 21-13. Daren Liew, the winner over Hiren Rhustavito. There's the victor, Daren Liew, a winner in 2 straight games. But the tie is still won by the Indonesians. And Indonesia, Rajawali takes the top seed here in the Kuala Lumpur leg of the Axiata Cup. Watch some of the action. Liew stamping his class for that big loss from the #1 doubles pair of Malaysia. Did them in. Coaches thought Ku and Tan would have gotten the job done, and that would have been enough to give them a 2-1 victory. Liew did his part, but in the end, just too strong was Dionysius Hayom Rumbaka and the pair of Angga Pratama and Rian Agung Saputro. And the final score for this tie, 2-1, Indonesia with the #1 seed. It's been a great 3 days of competition, top-notch, top-level competition with some of the best players from around the world coming to Kuala Lumpur to showcase their wares. This is the very first edition of the Axiata Cup, and even if we're still a week away from the home and away semifinals, you've got to say this tournament has already been a resounding success. The richest team event in the sport of badminton, offering a total prize money of $1 million. The winner takes home $400,000. Second placer will take home $200,000. And there is your final result. Indonesia Rajawali, 2-1 winners over the Malaysia Tigers. There's our final results here today. Hafiz Hashim going down 2-1 against Rumbaka in the doubles. Malaysia expecting to win that one, winning the first game but losing the next 2. And in the consolation singles, Daren Liew winning in 2 straight games. And this is our calendar for next week. March 30, Friday, Malaysia Tigers versus Indonesia Garuda. That will be in Jakarta. To be followed by Malaysia Leopards up against Indonesia Rajawali. That match will be held here in Kuala Lumpur. And on Sunday, April 1, the Malaysia Tigers will face Indonesia Garuda, but in Kuala Lumpur. And the Malaysia Leopards up against Indonesia Rajawali over in Jakarta. And that brings to a close the group stage of the